Hi, I'm Andy.
And I'm Jane.
And this is Rifle Range Beach, which is about a 5-minute walk from where we're currently living. We're both 42, just about. And we met originally at sixth form at school, but didn't see sense in get together until a little bit later.
We've been married about 13 years, well, 14 years.
Next year.
Next year, yeah. And we have a son in England who, I don't know why, but he didn't want to come out with us to Australia, but he might come out later on. He's 23, and a daughter who's 10 years old who's behind the camera filming us at the moment. Her name's Ray.
And shaking her head, but you'll see her later. I work in the university. I'm a psychologist by background, but I'm currently Dean of the School of Health and Human Services at CQ University here in Australia, which has a number of different campuses. One in Bundaberg, quite close to where we live. This is Bargara on the coast. Bundaberg's the nearest major city. It's about 15 kilometres away, so that's a nice easy commute. I used to commute down the M6 for about 50 miles each way in the freezing cold in the UK, so the commute's a little bit better here. Although some of the other campuses are about 300 kilometres away, so that sort of makes up for it, those drives.
And I was a deputy head teacher in a school in the UK, and I've come over and I'm just doing a little bit of relief teaching at the moment until I can find a more permanent position. I'd quite like to go back working in the classroom again, so I'm exploring lots of different schools all around this area at the moment, which is quite interesting. So meeting new people and finding out a little bit about what the Australian schools are like.
We visited Queensland quite a few times because we've got several family here, haven't we?
Yeah.
Started off with your gran who came out in the 60s.
My gran was she came out as a £10 farm, and she was a widower and brought out all her children apart from my mum, who was already married and had me, and one of my mum's older brothers. And then finally my mum and dad retired out to a little place called Bribey Island about 5 years ago. My sister lives out there now. They came out on a business visa, and I was lucky enough when I was about 13 for my nan to be able to afford to pay for me to come over and visit her in Australia. And well, maybe that's where we're going to go with Australia.
Yeah. Well, we visited a few times, and the last time was Christmas 2008. And when we arrived back at Manchester Airport in the freezing cold, we nearly got straight back on the plane again, and we thought we've really got to try and give this a go. So getting a job here was really lucky.
We were sat on our sofa in our house in England with a quilt, hats and scarves and gloves on. This is inside, and we just thought this is ridiculous. So that was the impetus really to come out to Australia. And as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous.
We're loving it. We enjoy the outdoors life. We wouldn't say that we're the most sporty of people, but we do like doing things like cycling and camping and having barbecues and drinking nice beer. So it's all good for that. Ray's started junior life saving, and we're making good use of the free electric barbecues that you find all along the fronts in Australia. So all in all, we're having a good time. The jobs are working out well, so really now we just need to find somewhere permanent to live.
We came over and we were house sitting first, which was quite adventurous really, because we hadn't met the people at all, and we didn't know what the house was going to be like or what area they were going to be in.
They just dropped me an email and said, "Oh, we've heard that you're coming over. It's someone who works at the same place as I do. We're about to go off on long service leave to South America. Would you fancy looking after our house and our dog?"
We said yes, we would.
Which has worked out well, because of course our stuff takes quite a long time to get here, and we've just found out that it's arrived in Brisbane. Most of it's got through quarantine, although apparently one basket they didn't buy, and we could either pay $55 to have it destroyed or $330 to have it fumigated, so we thought we'd go with the destruction.
So we've had a look at a few sort of houses around the area, but with Andy sort of working quite hard at the moment to get established in a new job, and me trying to get established with a few schools and get Ray settled into her own school, it's been quite sort of difficult, and we really don't know the area at all. We haven't really travelled
What difference will it make?
And into the centre in Bundaberg for shopping, but so
really that's why we need Phil's help to come and explore for us a bit more, because we know that there are a lot of opportunities maybe to live by the coast, which we might be quite keen on, but lots of people, especially seniors, really enjoy living in Bundaberg or out, you know, and of course you can live out in the country or along the river. So we want to explore what choices we've got. Really.
Yeah, we want to look at all the opportunities. I think I'm originally from Cornwall, so living by the coast attracted us, and that's probably all we've really looked at yet. But we know that there's all sorts of opportunities in Bundaberg and in the surrounding countryside. So we like to, you know, have someone to give us a hand in having a look at some more of those.
We've got sort of pretty similar ideas as to what kind of house we might like. Although when we bought our last house in the UK, I said I'm absolutely not living anywhere near there. It was a certain area where we lived in the UK, and then you said, "Oh, just come down and look at this house." And we came and looked at it, and I said, "Yeah, oh, I love it. I want to buy it straight away."
So, yeah.
So, yeah. But we both like sort of entertainment, so we would be looking for a house with a sort of large kitchen. You love cooking, don't you? So you want something that's fairly swish.
Yeah.
Kitchen and
Big living area. We had that in the UK, and so the Australian houses suit us quite well to have a big open space living area and some outdoor entertaining space as well. Maybe a couple of areas, because of course in Queensland you don't want it necessarily where the sun's going to be on it all day, so you maybe want a choice of where you're going to be.
I quite like a garden. Andy would love a garden. He would love a great big massive garden that he could have a ride-on mower and mow up and down every weekend.
And have a donkey and a goat.
Mowing is my least favourite task. We've already organised in our rental for someone to come and mow the lawn. No.
But he said he might quite like to have some donkeys and goats on a quad bike.
Yeah. So we're not averse to looking at properties with acreage, but not ones that need a lot of cultivation. Really.
No. But I do quite like gardening, and I like to be able to sort of potter around in the garden. I find it quite relaxing. Don't necessarily maybe want a huge garden, but alright, sort of looking around a bit, aren't we?
And really, as to why we'd be good for the programme, well, I think basically we're game for it. You know, we've come out here, we've left everything behind in the UK to have a bit of adventure. We're willing to look at different opportunities. We like a bit of a laugh. So yeah, and I guess most important of all, I'm not going to challenge Phil for his hair. We're similarly follically challenged. So that won't show him up on TV, so I think that's probably quite an important aspect. That's about it.
I think it is, yeah.
Watch it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ray and I'm 10 years old, and I originally come from Stone, that's sort of around by Stone-on-Trent, where you will come from. I'm really excited about being in Australia. I was a bit sad to leave because I really didn't want to leave my friends behind, but so far I'm really enjoying it and I've made lots of new friends. In our house, I'd quite like to have a pool that's like all space to have food in, and sort of like an area where me and my friends can hang about and playing and have some
fast because our stuff hasn't arrived. Hopefully it's going to arrive on Friday. We really like entertaining. We like somewhere where we can be cooking and our friends can be sitting out and either sitting on the sofa or taking stuff out to the table. This is great, and we had something similar to this in the UK, but if anything, I'd like it to be a bit bigger. We'd like to have a bit more space. In the UK, we had a big 6-ring range type hob, and similarly a big double oven as well, and we'd like something like that. So a nice big cupboard spaces and stuff in the Australian kitchens tend to be pretty good. So we've got things like walk-in pantry and that type of thing we'd like to get. But we'd certainly like some sort of living space that you can be comfy in, near the kitchen, dining area, all leading through, and then maybe some other sort of living space as well with just the TV where you can go and sit down and be comfortable. That's what we'd like.
Okay, here we are in the main bedroom with the ensuite. I would really love it if we could be able to actually walk out from the bedroom onto some kind of veranda. I wouldn't mind having a 2-storey house with a veranda that you could walk out on. That would be absolutely excellent. The en-suites I'd quite like to be a little bit bigger, and a much better and bigger shower. A wet room would be absolutely excellent. That would be fantastic. There is a walk-in wardrobe. It would be nice if it could be more of a sort of dressing area, a little bit bigger, but definitely would want to have some kind of walk-in wardrobe. Like things nice and clean and modern looking that are easy to look after and maintain. Do not want to have to be doing any DIY because Andy and I are both absolutely rubbish at it. We can just about put up a shelf. So nice, modern, clean, be able to walk out into the garden or onto some kind of entertaining area from the bedroom would be fantastic.
Right, so this is my room in 13 Settlement Court at the minute. I've got a slide across doors for my wardrobe, but I would quite like to have a walk-in, and the bathroom is just out the door around the corner, but I would preferably like an ensuite. So we're just going to come into the corridor and I'm going to show you what sort of family room area so that then me and my friends can play in. So this is what we've got at the minute, and we've got storage space, and we're going to have a TV so we can link the PS2 up. We've got a fan, and we're going to have a computer in here. So it's going to be like the family room / study.
And darling, what would you like in an ideal house for that sort of area? Would you like that right outside your bedroom?
Yeah, for this sort of area, I'd quite like it like as close to my bedroom as I could possibly get it, or outside with the door leading into my bedroom. So, like, me and my friends could just hang around, like if we were having a sleepover, we could hang around and watch telly and play on the PS2, and then we could just walk through the door and go to bed rather than having to walk down a corridor.